So what I'm talking about here is, if you think about it intelligently, nothing can blank against pure lovingness energies. Se rime con la palabra wait and create. Nothing can blank against it. Pure lovingness energies. Nobody can say in sincerity depth, oh, I blank that pure lovingness energies. Oh, I can't tolerate that much lovingness, warmth of light. Okay, so nothing can blank against it. And of course, even more obviously, of course, pure lovingness energies cannot blank anything against anything. It cannot blank. Se rime con la palabra wait and se rime con la palabra create. It cannot blank. It cannot feel rancor towards anything, nor anybody. It cannot feel rancor towards anything, nor anybody. It cannot feel rancor towards anything, nor anybody. That's even more obvious. But what is also very obvious to anybody with a divine sparks of energies, nor anybody with a deep spiritual intelligence, nothing and nor nobody can blank pure lovingness energies. It'd be like seeing the most beautifully adorable child or baby, an infant baby, and say, oh, gosh, I need to go get some air. There's so much joyfulness in here. This baby is smiling like I could just puke. Can you imagine this? Can you fathomly imagine this? Some micro worm bot is stating, quote directly, I need to go get some fresh air. It is way too much cheerfulness in this room. This baby's been smiling for the last, what feels like 15 minutes of nonstop smiling. I'm going to have to go get myself some oxygen air. I can't tolerate this much joyful bliss at one time. Okay, so if I was in an auditorium full of individuals, I'd say, okay, does anybody understand what I'm saying? That's impossible. Not if a baby is extremely gentle, smiling peacefully. It is impossible to hate it unless it's fake, unless it's cartoon quote hate end quote cartoonistly, unless it is quote hate end quote cartoonistly, unless it is quote hate end quote cartoonistly, unless it is cartoon quote hate cartoonistly, unless it is cartoon quote hate cartoonistly, unless it is cartoon quote hate cartoonistly, it is impossible to blank pure lovingness energies, and even more obviously, it is impossible for pure lovingness energies to blank anything or anybody else. Unless it is completely what? Fake, cartoonly fake. Cartoonistly, unless it is completely what? Fake, cartoonistly. Unless it is completely what? Cartoonly fake, cartoonistly. Unless somebody's soulful light is completely muffled, they cannot even pretend to cartoonly quote blank and quote anything else nor anyone else. But we've all had moments. Oh, I detest this stoplight. I feel like I'm sitting here at a red for 5 minutes. It takes so dang long. We feel moments. No, we feel moments. We've all felt, come on, we feel moments, don't we? Oh, I detest the stoplight. I feel like I've been here for 5 minutes already and it's still red. Oh. We don't think to be very thankful we don't live in Los Angeles, but not the one in Patagonia, but not the one in East Central Brasilia, you know. We don't think to be extremely thankfully, gratefully glad that we don't have to deal with bumper traffic often. If we live in, let's say, a small to medium-sized town We don't always remember to be extremely thankfully, gratefully gladdened, do we? Let's say you are a taxi cab driver, but you're stuck in traffic momentarily. But it's not Nueva York bumper-to-bumper traffic, is it? Let's say you are a flower plant delivery individual. It gets really busy. But you live somewhere near Atlanta, Georgia, it doesn't get that bumper-to-bumpery, does it? Do we always remember to be thankfully glad? No. Do we always remember that safety is most important? Honestly, I hope so, but no, probably not. Not everyone remembers that, no. Not everyone remembers that deep peacefulness, soulfulness, depth of focusedness is most important. Getting a job done is more important than not getting that job done. Can we all agree on this? Even if it takes 2 centuries, that's better than not at all. Or if it takes 2 years, that's better than 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 days if it's done really shabbily, no? We'd rather wait the 2 years to get it done perfectly or extremely high quality. If we were making a building in Nueva York, for example. Going back to this town that everyone loves. Well, we all love it, don't we? And New Yorkers, they love it the most, don't they? Or do they get cartoonly blank, that song by Aerosmith? Say, remake on La Palabra, traded. Do they get a little bit cartoonly blank, seeing so many impoverished individuals near and around the subway cars? It gets a little bit sweaty. I mean, a little bit exasperating. It gets a little bit exhausting, doesn't it? We imagine that bag lady or that homeless, gentle hombre, that gentleman is crawling into a Mercedes-Benz just around the corner of that city block when we individually fail to give our last 2 cents. Well, it's not good to give your last 2 cents. Let's face it. That's another fallacy, isn't it? I would advise against giving away one's last 2 cents, like they say in some of those biblical stories. Yeah, quote biblical, end quote. I would advise against giving away one's last 2 dimes, too. I really would. I really think it's better to have money to clothe and feed oneself if possible. Always better to practice high quality self-care. No? It is always better to practice high quality self-care. No? It is always better to practice high quality self-care. No? As opposed to lowest non-qualities, I would have to state observationally it's much, much better to practice high quality self-care. And if you have anything left over, which let's face it, it's tough these days, isn't it? It is tough. Times are tough. Como lo normal, that means as usual. Como lo normal, I mean that means as usual. Como lo normal, I mean that means as usual. Times are tough. We all wish we had Sugar Bear money bags. I mean Zucker Bear money bags to give away every 4 years. $1 billion to charity. Oh gosh, we're so overwhelmed with thankfulness that we don't have the burden of having billions of dollars to give away to charity every 4.5 years. I mean, come on, we are so thankful, aren't we? We don't have that kind of burden. I mean, we know P. Diddy said years ago that with more wealth, I think he said, comes more challenges. I think that's how he put it. And then, unless you're Sugar Bear itself, I think he makes it look easy. Well, it's probably not easy to be a microbot and have to stand in front of Congress and to see the position and have to argumentatively state that you are doing society a service. I think he deserves a round of applause, actually. I think he deserves one because, it turns out it's not easy to sweat through your clothing and sweat on the inside simultaneously. Only court reporters know how to do that. And hide it so well. What did I begin this audio video shown with? Might I be completely honest? I don't recall. I've covered so much in the last 10 to 15 minutos. I believe I began with stating something on the topic of I don't know, rewind that video recording, please. I've covered so much cartoon ground, I don't know exactly where this video whence begun, so. Occasionally I make an exception and I say just rewind the video recording, please. Discover for yourself how it began again. I actually momentarily forget how I began this video. Was it not something on the order of thankfulness? It's good to be thankful, to be aware of thankfulness. It's one of the topics I covered already. Versus frustrations, better to put safety first, literally, high quality self-care first. Deep spiritual, soulful peacefulness, of focusedness first. Attention, inwardly inward, I say this frequently, is extremely importante. The importance cannot be overstated, cartoonishly. Before I began this video audio gravazione, I was stating to myself, land of the free, home of the brave, cartoonishly, who could not resonate any deeper with that irresonance than myself? Who could not, quote, resonate, unquote, any deeper with the irresonance of that than myself? Who could not, quote, resonate any deeper with the irresonance of that? I'm not talking about human trafficking specifically. I'm talking about all forms, quote unquote, of non-forms of bondage generally. I'm talking about individuals that for them, freedom is a theoretical non-point of non-contentious non-existence. I said this cartoon country, or this cartoon planet, it's like, or this cartoon country, it's like a non-possibilityness of a non-conundrum of impossibilityness. That there is freedom for all it is a non-argumentated, non-argumentable, non-arguable, non-purposeful non-point of nonsense, of nonsenseness. They're individuals that don't learn to ignite the creative spark of imaginative energies in a Montessori school. They don't learn it in a parochial building. They don't even learn it in a non-parochial building. Comes as no surprise that we have individuals that go to college buildings and they say after 4 years or 5 years, I don't know why I majored in home economics. I mean, economics, I don't see any future. And I don't see any direct path to a professional job. Okay, have a good night, everybody. What am I stating? Look behind what I'm stating. Isn't everything set up to be a missing path to nowhere? Like the band Missing Persons, we are intended to scavenge for meaningfulness in a cartoon planet that has no meaningfulness. Everything is fake. Everything is fake, deliberately on purpose. Everything is fake. I repeat, everything is fake. Everything is fake, deliberately on purpose. Everything is fake, deliberately on purpose. Quote courtesies, unquote, of the Gusano and El Cartoon Centro del Cartoon Planeta. Cartoonishly. Someday, the factualnesses will transform into truths, of deeper truthfulnesses. And I pray that there is a transcendence very soon. I pray that there is a transcendence very soon. I pray that there is a transcendence very soon. Everyone deserves it. I deserve it. Buenas noches. Buenas tardes.